All right. I'd like to invite everybody to the April meeting of the MSD of North Pokey and ask everybody to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so first item on the agenda is patron concerns, and we have none listed. Yeah, go ahead.
Vision, we inspire all students to achieve their potential for learning and life in a safe and supportive environment. Mission is we partner with our community to create a dynamic and innovative educational experience, empowering students to become educated, productive, and responsible citizens. Core beliefs, we believe our community is vital to our educational success. Everyone is valued and treated with respect and always tell the truth, and educational opportunity for all. Student-centered programs, challenging and inspiring learning in the pursuit of excellence through a strong sense of pride. Our high priorities, we enhancing the student experience, investing in all of our staff, fostering strong relationships among all, and maximizing resources.
Thank you. And as I said, we have nothing on patron concerns. So first item on the agenda is minute, claim docket, and consent items. Looking for a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent items.
A second.
Just wanted to make you aware, Mr. President, of the walk-on for the resignation for the paraprofessional Ashley Morrow over at North Elementary that we're adding in on that. Also, I wanted to recognize Shannon Schickles. The reason why I want to do this is an honor for us as a district of Reagan Kester being awarded an NHS scholarship. I mean, there's only a few, I think, in the nation. So this is a big
25 is what they said the other day.
So you remember the number better than I did. So it's a great honor for us as a district as well as for Reagan. So it's going to be a great experience for her.
Congratulations to her.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so we've got a motion by Mr. Oakley, second by Ms. Bowers to approve the consent items. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion carries 4-0. Next item is new business, and we have the proposed contract for the superintendent with Mr. Galvin. The terms are listed in here. We had the public hearing last Monday to go over and receive public comment on this. I'm looking, I don't think I need to read these or anything, but I'm looking for a motion to approve the contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Will, seconded by Mr. Oakley. Do we have any other discussion on the item?
Couple vague statements to make. Everybody will probably notice this is a very unique timing situation on this year. And that's nobody's fault except for the board members, with the exception of Lindsay. You're 100% innocent. The March executive session, I was quite worried going into that. I will say, when I left that meeting, and I actually texted Greg to let him know, that was the best executive session or meeting for that matter that I've ever been to. We came in there with a lot of different ideas, and which is what you want in a board. And when we left there, I felt like everybody had something that they could stomach. Maybe they weren't happy with it. It's disappointing to me that what was produced that night is not what we're voting on tonight. And it concerns me for the future. I'll leave it at that.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion carries 4-0. And, need to sign this now.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is me.
I think so.
Was it not correct? Oh, it was on the next, it was on the back page. All right, so I'll turn the meeting over to Dr. Gallagher.
First up, we have this evening, just kind of an annual thing that we do, beginning, believe it or not, the 2024 budget. So you have there for consideration this evening, the 2024 budget calendar. We've actually already started the process of kind of going through with the building principals on the project prioritization analysis, and also the direct reports as well. So just wanted to get that to you for you to plan your dates as well for when we'll be approving the actual budget, and having the public hearings and stuff. So we need to bring that forward this evening for your consideration, Mr. President.
All right, looking for a motion to approve the 2024 budget calendar.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2024 budget calendar.
One second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Will, seconded by Mrs. Bowers to approve the 2024 calendar. Any discussion on the,
Is the October 5th, is that something we had already changed, or is that a new change?
that was for
The email had gone out, and you guys kind of,
Yeah,
it falls on the,
the
Oh,
break.
fall break, yeah.
the normal one is, second Monday of the month.
So we bumped that back to Thursday.
Anything else? All right, all those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. And that motion carries.
Next up this evening, we have our two calendars. First up is a kind of a revision of the 23-24 calendar. The board, as well as our constituents, had asked for us to take a look back at professional development days. And so we kind of talked to our teachers. We also talked to our consultants and kind of made some changes in next year's calendar. The professional development day in August, we removed, and also the professional development day in January, we removed. So those two dates have been removed. We will not have professional development days in those 2 months. The one that is in April, that was originally scheduled for April the 9th, we've now moved that back to April the 8th. And that is because that is going to be the eclipse day. And so we were talking to several of our districts around us. Pretty well everyone's going to dismiss that day, or else have an e-learning day or professional development, kind of like what we're doing. So we just moved it from the 9th back to the 8th. So those are the only changes to the 23-24 calendar. Do you want to take them both together, Mr. President, or do you want to do them separate?
I don't see why not.
Okay. So the next one you have is the 24-25. We brought two options to the Teachers Association. We have discussions with them on a monthly basis, and one of those is the calendar. Option A is mainly the corresponding dates, from this year to next year, or from 23-24 to 24-25. The second option, if you'll notice on option A, we're actually going to be starting school like August the 7th. And we've always heard from teachers, why are we starting so early? My gosh, we can't believe it. Well, it's every so many years you have that time of where it kind of the calendar resets itself and we start fairly early. And so we went to a second option. Amy did this as well. But this one does not get us out prior to Memorial Day. And so in discussing with teachers as well as our high school and graduation, we felt like option A was the best option. And that gets us out, even though we're starting early, it does get us out prior to Memorial Day. The other thing that you'll notice on the 24-25, once again, kind of looking at, we're not needing that much professional development time. We're kind of getting those projects done as ESSER funds are kind of going away, is we're going back to only one full professional development day in the fall semester, and then one full one in the spring semester. The full one will be on October the 17th, and the full one second semester will be April the 10th. Everything else will be early dismissals that year for professional development. And as you'll notice, there isn't one in August and there is not one in January. So once again, we're recommending to the board option A for the 24-25 calendar, which does start us early, but gets us out prior to Memorial Day holiday. So therefore, we bring those forward for your consideration, Mr. President.
All right, looking for a motion to approve the 2 calendars as presented.
Can I ask a question real quick? Next year, are any of them early release? Or
No.
just getting rid of the 2
We're
days?
just getting rid of the 2 days. Yeah. We still need it those full days to get the curriculum not be done. Yep.
I'll make a motion to revise the 2023-24 calendar with changes to professional development days. And option 2, and the 2 other options for the 2024-2025, we're going with option A.
In a second,
I'll second.
we have a motion by Mrs. Will, seconded by Mr. Oakley, to approve the 2-year calendars with option A for the 2024-2025 calendar. Any other discussion on the matter? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion carries 4-0.
Next up this evening, I don't know if Greg, Vince, and Amy, if you even know this, Dave Sinclair, who's in charge of the Southern Indiana Career and Technical Center, called me and said, "Hey, Mike, can you send me a copy of our original memorandum of understanding?" And we checked around. We go, asked Amy. We had no recollection of us doing this. So I sent back to Dave and I said, maybe it's time for us to do an updated one. And so this is the updated one from him. We've also, I've reached out to him and I made a suggestion that he meet with superintendents to feed into the Southern Indiana Career Technical Center, just so that we're kind of, this kind of states that EVSC has control over it. But, it'd be nice for us to at least be consulted a little bit, since we are sending them more money for the Perkins grants and stuff. And so this is just the memorandum of understanding for our students to participate down there. There's nothing that's changed from the previous one. It's just going to be an updated one. So we bring that forward for consideration this evening.
All right, looking for a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding with the Southern Indiana Career and Tech Center.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Motion by Mrs. Bowers, seconded by Mr. Oakley. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion carries 4-0.
Next up this evening, we actually sent out bids. Scott Stefano's group assisted with us to replace North Elementary exterior doors and frames. This is mainly just replacing the original doors that are over there, which is quite a few of them actually. The nice thing about this is we talked through it. We talked about leaving some of the frames in. Some of them are looking bad. They've been painted multiple times. So what we decided to do was just go ahead and replace them all with aluminum frames. Everything is going to be the same color as the new doors, like in the very front. So everything's going to match. And then as well, the red panels that are above the library and special education classrooms, we're going to replace that with glass. So that's all going to be new glass. It'll give it a better look. It'll also bring in some natural lighting to those rooms and stuff. The other thing is anything below 7 feet will have the break resistance glass. Okay, so it's not bulletproof, but it's break resistance and stuff. So that's going to be a special feature as well. So we received 2 bids, and a lot of this was just. I think we would have received more bids, but it's the timeline in trying to get this done this summer. And there's just so much, so many people have work, and then as well as just lag time on some of these different things. But Kesh Glass, I guess that's how you pronounce that, with base bid of $198,750 was the winning bid. The alternate, we're suggesting to accept the alternate of $221,500 of $420,250. I don't know if that's right.
I
Let me see it real quick.
didn't think you would take an alternate.
No, we're not taking the alternate.
I just went by what he had highlighted.
I'm just doing the one
Yeah,
ninety.
we're just doing the 198.
Do you know if that is like the current glass and actual wire in it?
Yes.
Alternate one is the impact resistant glazing. 7 feet finished floor.
I think it was I think that was just 221,500 was total. I don't think it was an addition.
Correct. That's what I remember from the bids.
Yeah,
That's not what he has on there.
No,
it's not.
Oh, that with including the alternate, it's the 221.
Yes.
mhm.
So he didn't write this right. So, Mr. President, I would suggest pulling this for right now until we get this corrected.
Mhm. Do we? Should we approve the base bid to get,
You could go
Bids
ahead
on
and base,
board.
yeah, we could go ahead and approve the
and then
base
come
bid,
back and
do the alternate. We could do that. If you want to do that.
with timing and everything, I think that's probably the best option.
Sure. Okay.
So I'm looking for a motion to approve the bid from Kish Glass for the base bid of $198,750.
I'll make a motion to approve the base bid, Kesh Glass, how do you said that? For the base bid of $198,750.
Second, a motion by Mrs. Will, seconded by Mr. Oakley. Any other discussion?
Just wanted to point out that that's coming out of the GO bond, and Homeland Security is a portion of it, and then whatever's remaining would come out of operations fund. So
No other discussion, then I will ask for all those approved, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries forward.
So check on that alternate for you, let you guys know. Okay. I think we're down to you, sir.
I'm up.
You're up.
I'm pleased to just kind of really just announce that we did get a small grant. It's actually a sizable grant for our CTE manufacturing and industrial arts area. The community foundation, I'm going to read this verbatim because they said this is the other one it stated. The Mackey Sidlow Memorial Fund and the Posey County Community Foundation was an affiliate of the Community Foundation Alliance. Tamara Miley contacted us and said that there was an opportunity for us to basically just throw a proposal out of some type of project or plan
that would benefit students down in the manufacturing or industrial arts area, and that they had a donor that was looking to grant some money for that type of project. So we kind of hunted around a little bit looking for an opportunity, and outside of our manufacturing shop, so this is not the ag shop, not the construction shop, but manufacturing, around the corner, if you've ever been kind of on the north side of the campus and you go around those shops, you work your way back through between the high school and junior high campus toward the cafeteria. Immediately on the left is where those materials are stacked. And they're there around where actually the exhaust fans from construction are. And it's just kind of an area that just has metal and various things stacked there. This grant would take care of materials for an 8-foot wide by 18-foot long by 10-foot tall storage facility that would be constructed by Mr. Wallace and his group, and then it would benefit our manufacturing group with a place to store their materials. So we really thought it was a fantastic opportunity for that, and that grant amount was $4,767, and that is coming to the MSD of North Posey. Questions? Yeah.
So we just wanted to bring this to the board since the board has to accept the grant. And then in addition to that, since we're actually constructing a yard barn or of some sort of a building there, we wanted to make sure you guys were aware of it. It is a very public area because of football games, baseball games, softball games, all that stuff is on the backside of the building. So it's definitely going to help clean up that area a little bit and kind of get it out of sight. So.
I think it's awesome that they're gonna build it too.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. They get to build it. It takes care of two different classes of those kids down there, and it benefits us long term.
All right, looking for a motion to approve the grant to construct the storage facility.
Make a motion to accept the grant, approve the construction, and fall on my chair.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Oakley, seconded by Ms. Bowers. Any other discussion? All those approve, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion carries 4-0.
Well, Mr. Fisher is also here. We want to bring forward a walk-on item tonight. It's the IXL contract for the high school. It's going to be actually paid out of the ESSER 3 funds, but Sean, I'll let you talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, the IXL platform and program. This is for the high school, grades 9 through 12. Going back to before the winter break, the Christmas break, was in contact just with some of our teachers about their desire to have some type of form of assessment tool. Just an ongoing, a lot like what the other grades get with iReady. Okay, we don't have anything like that at the high school level. With the SAT being administered to juniors, that's kind of our key accountability test. We were looking for a tool. Some of the teachers, we had a few of the teachers that were using some IXL, some of the free opportunities that were out there to do a few things with it. So I went ahead and reached out and contacted their rep and talked to them a little bit about what it would be like to maybe pilot this for a period of time. So we've been piloting IXL in the high school for English and math for the months of January, February, and March. That pilot ended on the last day of March, but they, if we could get a signed purchase agreement in that period of time, then they could extend that, and then payment wouldn't be due, I don't believe, until July on this particular agreement. I can say, if you speak to specifically our ELA folks, I mean, they're extremely happy with it, with the functionality, with the capability of it, with the ability to track, to be adaptive. The way I don't want to say forces, but the way it kind of forces a certain level of mastery before you can move on. They're just really excited about it. I feel like their PD packages and their training packages are really strong. Obviously, we're looking at the 3-year agreement because that's cheaper going forward. I know that we could have went with the 7 through 12 with the junior high as well, because there were a few junior high teachers that expressed some interest in it. I know that some of them coming from the EVSC have used it because they use it there, but we opted for 9 through 12 at this time. They do sell that in, I think, lots of 25. If you look on the quote, I believe the quotes were $450. We have 420 kids in the building right now, but if we ever had 426, then we'd have to buy another lot of 25, and I didn't want to chase that around and have you approving another round of 25 come the fall. We're not quite to that sixth grade class yet, but eventually we will get there. We'll just have to see, I just think that's the right thing to do at this moment. Again, we're excited about it. Our math groups really have enjoyed it. They do have other tools that they're capable, like Delta Math and some other things that they're able to use kind of a la carte. But this is a one-stop shop, and they've made the commitment to me that they can utilize it and show the utilization to back up the investment.
And the initial investment is also
Half
coming
of
out
that.
of ESSER.
So, right,
It's a 3-year contract. Is that right?
3-year contract.
What was the cost?
20,000.
20,702.
All right, so looking for a motion to approve the contract with IXL.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the IXL.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Will, second by Mr. Oakley. Any other discussion on the item? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
Next up this evening, you have there the list of professional leave requests for the month of April and May. Kind of coming up. I need to go over the screen a little bit for your considerations.
All right, looking for a motion to approve the professional leave.
I'll make a motion to approve the professional leave.
Second,
Second.
motion by Ms. Bauer, second by Mrs. Will to approve the professional leave request. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Good news report.
You'll notice you have a little bit different look on your good news report this month. I enlisted Jessica Adler. She's fantastic with graphic media, and she's been working alongside Captivated Content, Casey, to develop our website, and I hope you've noticed that as well, that a lot of it's attributed to Jessica's hard work. And so she put this together and is gonna start just putting the data together. She just does a much better job than I ever did on that. And so I just really appreciate her and the hard work she put to that. I just think it looks really, really nice, and that she publishes that out to our website as well. So she did a good job with that. And then kind of on the note, we didn't include it in the good news report, but just to give you guys an update, this last e-learning day, we did have some childcare offerings available. We used the YMCA. We offered busing from both of the schools to the YMCA for the day. They were able to do their e-learning there at the downtown YMCA, had some fun as well, and then were bused back. And we had before and after school care available on both bookends as well, in case parents still needed to drop off normal times or pick up normal times. We had a total of 5 students from the South Terrace District participate. It was a little bit late with spring break in there too. It was kind of quick notice, and there, like I said, last month, there was a lot of logistics that just seemed to kind of slowly get figured out, a lot slower than I had hoped it would. But I think it went well. We got good feedback from what we did. And so we'll try again next year with the e-learning dates. We'll start the year with those dates out there, and that we're going to offer. Yeah. I think that, we'll see. And then if it still doesn't get a lot of steam, then we'll go from there.
So none from North Elementary, but there are only 5 from South Terrace. Well, you said could be less than, not less than that. I don't mean.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
If why,
Yeah.
yeah. But we were happy to that it worked for some.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it doesn't really cost us, I mean, the gas to drive the bus over, but our bus drivers need something to do on those days to clock their time. We offer professional development things, but it can be their work day, which we are already wanting to pay for that anyway. So it really was not a lot of cost to the district at all. So that was really good.
Good job. Michelle headed that up, did a great job with it, and working with YMCA and the principal, so I appreciate her work on that, so.
And I was gonna say that the STEM fair out of high school was really cool.
Yes.
I had never gone before and all my kids
Oh,
loved
it's always
it and
good.
they didn't wanna leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It keeps
Mr.
getting
McMahon
better every year.
does a great
So,
job with
Yeah.
that.
Very good. You also have, I talked to you a little bit in the newsletter, staffing report. So first thing that you have there is 23-24 proposed enrollment. So just a couple of ways that I do this is I just kind of take the numbers and roll it up. Of course, I graduate out the 12th grade and then kind of go with where we are right now with kindergarten enrollment. Our kindergarten numbers are actually going back up. We have a fairly good size coming in of 101 kids is what we're projecting, 51 at South Terrace and 50 at North Elementary. So that might be a little bit larger. We're, as you're aware, the teachers and the principals are still kind of working through any sort of retentions that they may have with this current kindergarten. So there might be a few kids that end up in that kindergarten group. The bottom one down there, the pre-K, DD, preschool, and pre-K, those are our current numbers. So those aren't numbers for next year. Those are just current numbers.
What's PKBD?
That's your pre-kindergarten developmental delay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So as you can see, right now the February count was at 1371 and we're projecting 1384 for next year. So that's a good thing. Hopefully we can hold there and not lose a lot of kids elsewhere. So. Then the next sheet that you have is kind of, we actually start looking at staffing in February and start talking to the principals about just kind of what are we seeing. I kind of take this and just kind of move everybody up, kind of look at staffing. As you can see, the kindergarten class this year is going to be moving to first grade. And of course, it is a small group across the board, both in North Elementary and South Terrace. So we're recommending going back to only 2 sections next year in first grade, like we had this year in kindergarten. And then that first grade position will move down to kindergarten to help with the 3 sections that we're going to have for this year. So you can kind of see those numbers there with that. Then on the flip side, on the back side of that, we have a huge 6th grade class this year. And so, we got 71 at North Elementary and 61 at South Terrace. And so we're recommending to hire 2 new 6th grade teachers for those 2 positions to kind of keep those class sizes close to what we are normally used to, which it's kind of still a little bit high, but pretty well close to where we normally are. The other one that we are recommending to hire and the principals are working on is the English position at the high school. And just kind of, I think I gave you a little bit of background on that, but it's kind of been an evolution kind of thing at the high school. Sean has done a really good job. We talked about it last year. We pushed it out for another year. I asked him as well to show me the what if scenario. What if we don't hire this year? And it got really sloppy for next year. But what mainly has happened is Brad Wallace used to teach German. Brad moved over to construction and picked up a lot of those classes. Carrie, who used to teach English, moved over and picked up most of the German. In fact, now I think she's almost teaching, majority of her schedule is pretty well German now.
All but one.
All but one. Then Beth McCutcheon with Sling Studio kind of coming up through the years, those kids finally hit the high school. And so we created a broadcast pathway. And so Beth is actually teaching that Sling Studio and she used to teach English. So that's kind of pulling her off. And so, it kind of was just kind of one of those situations of as we've offered different things, it's kind of pulled people to the point where we finally said we're going to have a new English person. The other thing too is we have a special education teacher who's picking up some English, and this will allow her to more team teach and work with her kids more often. So really what's going to happen as far as new hires will be 2 6th grade positions, each of the elementaries, and then an English position. So, looking at what happens if we have another, small kindergarten class? You always hate to reduction in force, RIF, teachers. We feel like that we're seeing, as I said earlier, we're seeing some possibility of some retirements here in the next couple of years. So we think that if that would happen, we can just do that through attrition. So, but anyway, that's kind of what we're seeing. And kind of keeping with what our expectations are with the community, that's kind of what we're looking at moving forward. Are there any questions? That's all we have for this evening, Mr. President.
Anything else for the good of the cause?
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
I have a question. I told my story on the guy who came down and talked about putting solar into the schools. And he was gonna come back with more, so I thought, I'll wait till he gets more information. Do you know when he'll be coming back, or if he'll be coming back?
He is.
Back on the docket?
Yeah, he is gonna, we don't have him actually scheduled yet. Actually, I think we do. We have him scheduled for May, I think. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So you think he'll be coming back? I'll hold it then.
So.
And the other thing I was wondering, I was a little confused on the eclipse day. Do they get that whole day off? or-
Yes.
Okay,
Kids
so
will have an e-learning day. that
It'll
day.
be an e-learning day.
Yeah.
But they will have it off.
Yeah. Everybody in the area is doing that.
Oh, yeah, the
Because it's-
traffic jams,
Yes.
the buses would roll to leave school about the time the eclipse
Yeah.
is happening.
No.
And your traffic jams would be awful.
And it is also being sold as a tourism
Yeah.
site for us here in this community. And so even this past week, I saw it on Fox News too. So I mean, it's gaining some popularity and stuff. And Facebook has it posted too. So
The kids got up lemonade
Less than a year.
stand, make a fortune.
Yeah. I know. I know.
Yeah, the kids should build viewing glasses and sell them.
Yeah, exactly right. So,
Who needs a lemonade stand? You need that.
T-shirts, right?
And then my only other question is, the science teacher that retired, I think retired, the reason.
She resigned.
What did she, here it is, it's right here. What did she teach with science?
She taught environmental science and Project Lead the Way biomedical science courses.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you. Oh, and I was wondering, on your letter, you said they want it written a certain way. So maybe, the grant, when you were reading it, you said they wanted it.
I can
stated.
show you that.
I was gonna say, if I could have a copy or show me.
Sure.
to Make sure I do it right.
Sure.
Thank you.
Mhm. Anything else?
talking a little bit about when do we want to do that working session to kind of talk through the bond for 2024. I guess since the date's out to you guys.
Yeah, I was free all those dates, so.
My phone tonight.
That's okay. Just
I
look at
think I
those
was.
dates. I'll send a text
You
back out
said
to you
that you
guys,
Do
but
that.
Did I text back? Okay. I think I will.
just kind of want to remind you.
Back to this, do the principals have any idea in terms of like, let's say for the kindergarten class, and I only know this because I have a kid in the kindergarten class,
Mhm.
but that's a really rough class with a lot of behavior.
Current
It's-
kindergarten
Yes,
or-
current,
Yes.
current
Yeah.
kindergarten. Like, do we think a lot of them, or not a lot, but several could be held back? Or like
Yeah.
it could make the first grade
Yes.
smaller
It'll
than
be
what
even
it
smaller
is?
possibly. Yeah. There's some things that works in that. Yeah.
Legislatively, I think the bills had to come out of committee today to live on. So we should have lots to talk about next month when it's finished.
Yeah, I didn't see an update or anything.
We're watching that very closely. The budget is being kept very hush hush as far as what we're hearing and stuff. There is a Red for Ed, or whatever you want to call it, rally on the 13th. Brad has says that he's not aware of anybody going from here, but I know there's 4 districts that actually have shut down to go. So, but yeah, I do know that they're waiting for the economic forecast to come out, and that will kind of help them paint hopefully
I'm
a
sure that's
rosier
gonna be
picture.
great.
I know. Positive thing.
Sorry.
So, yeah. They're also combining some bills too, so be careful and watch, because they're putting stuff together now. So it's gonna.
Yeah.
It's always that stuff that happens that 11:59 prior to that go, what, where'd this come from? Thank you all for the contract as well. Appreciate it.
So if we have nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Oakley, second by Ms. Powers. We are adjourned.
Has anybody heard from Larry?